No effing way. This can't be happening. Please welcome Patrick McGinty.
December 27th, 2011. Ann and I decided to go to bed at 11 p.m. after drinking some wine and watching some Dateline. At about 3 a.m., Ann wakes up in a huff. She wakes me up and goes, "I can't stand your loud snoring." And I probably said something insensitive like, "I haven't heard anything." So she says, "I can't take it anymore." And for the first time in 7.5 years, she said, "I'm going to sleep in the couch." And I'm like, no, don't do that. She goes, "No, I am." So I said, "Okay." And I fell back asleep. At about 5:30, I rolled in my bed and I reached out to cuddle with my girlfriend. But I couldn't find her. And my brain was wondering, where is she? For 7.5 years she's been there. I thought, was she abducted by aliens? No. Did she spontaneously combust? No. But just as my brain realized that she got up because I was snoring, that's when 3 surprising things happened. First, there was a huge explosion that shook the condo. And before I could think, what the second thing happened. Poof! The room lit up like 3 suns, and through the thick curtains it was like a poltergeist. And I was suffering from information overload at this point. And that's when the third thing happened. This is the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office. Occupants of apartment 204, come out with your hands out. This is when my military training came in. I rolled out of bed, slow crawled to my window, discreetly looked out, and I saw 25 machine guns pointed at my condo. I was like, what? So then, luckily, I had my pants on the floor. So I started putting my pants on the floor, yelling out Ann's name. And I saw Ann in the living room. And she apparently had military training also. Because she got rolled off in her nightie off the couch. And I found her under the window. And she discreetly was looking out the window at what was going on. So I ran over to the window. And I looked out, and that's when I saw them carrying out 2 people. The first guy they threw on the ground, and they had him spread eagle in the cold asphalt with just his boxer shorts on. And the woman, they put a blanket over her and put her into the police car. I saw 2 large SWAT teams, the Washington State Patrol, Bellingham Police, the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, the DEA, and the ATF. Overwhelming force for whatever was going on in my building. They could have took on an army. So they threw those 2 people in the car, and for the next 5 hours, the DEA and the ATF were taking stuff out of this people's condo. Large screen TVs, drugs, weapons, bags of stuff, computers, for 5 hours. It was like watching a real reality TV right in front of your condo. It was the best. So what happened? Apparently there was 2 individuals, Todd Hamilton, 35 years old, and Denali Woods, 23, who were dealing huge amounts of heroin and meth out of that condo apartment right next to me. Todd was a bad dude. He was the leader of an Aryan Nation gang. He had a large tattoo that said "hated" right here. He was the drug kingpin for 3 counties, Whatcom, Skagit, and Island County. And he was dealing huge amounts of drugs right out of that condo. He was a violent man. He intimidated, strong-armed, beat up, and killed people. He had been arrested 62 times, and he's only 35 years old. I used to see Todd at the mailbox, and I said hi to him all the time. He was kind of quiet, and I always chuckled, because he kind of looked like Vanilla Ice. And I noticed he always had a collared shirt on, and he had this big tattoo. But one day it said hat, one day it said Ted, and one day it said 8. I never realized it said hated. And I always told Ann, I go, this guy's a little weird. I go, most people in this condo own either a Honda or a Chevy or a late model junk box. But this dude, he drove either a BMW or a Land Rover. And I used to joke to Ann, wow, this guy either has a good job or he's dealing drugs. When I was talking to my neighbors, I found out that our condo was under surveillance 24 hours a day for 6 months. It was wiretapped and videotaped. One of my neighbors went to the grocery store and came back and saw someone looking into their condo. And when this individual saw them, he was like stealth, like a ninja. He just got lost. And they never knew what happened to him, but she always thought that was weird. And the old lady who lived below Todd, every night heard chop, 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 chop. She goes, I always wondered what that was. They were chopping up the drugs. And we always saw strange people, but we didn't think much of it because we lived near a college. The raid itself, they blew out the door, and 8 huge SWAT team members had run in, grabbed the 2 individuals, and threw them outside, and the whole thing was done within 10 seconds. The whole experience was surreal. And I have to admit, I was pretty impressed with law enforcement, because there was no media there. I didn't see a part of the newspaper for like 3 weeks. And when I did, I emailed it to all my friends and told them, you gotta come down and meet my awesome neighbors. I will always remember that experience, and I will tell the story for the rest of my life. Mr. Toastmaster.